And the story just keeps on getting better. Now, we're making this video in this time frame because the Nashville Predators are playing later today. The Vancouver Canucks and the Buffalo Sabres, they're all playing later today as well, coincidentally against each other, and we have ourselves a very interesting update to go over when it comes to Milwaukee Admirals forward Cody Hodgson. Now, if you've been following the channel for the past few weeks, you probably saw the videos we made about Hodgson when he initially returned to professional hockey. He's 34 years old, 6 feet, 192, a right-handed center, and initially as a Vancouver Canucks 10th overall pick in 2008, Cody Hodgson was supposed to be the next best thing. Everything that Bo Horvat became for Vancouver, Cody Hodgson was kind of supposed to be that too. A big-headed, two-way monster on center who could score some goals. He had some really good OHL production and a good amount of hype heading into his Vancouver Canucks career. But after getting traded away for Zack Kassian, whom, by the way, he's trending today as well, nice to see Zack Kassian's name get out there, albeit for the wrong reasons today, we then saw for Cody Hodgson his career kind of plateau with the Buffalo Sabres. He had 44 points in 72 games played, and then things were never the same. He had a few health issues that weren't really known by anybody up until the 2016 area of Hodgson's life. Afterwards, he had gotten sent over to the Nashville Predators. He had 8 points in 39 games played, a very big decline from his 44-point season 2 years ago. Heck, even his 2014-15 season was already a steep decline. He played in Milwaukee, he was pretty good, but then, from 2016 onwards, Cody Hodgson did not play any professional hockey. Now, there was a really good article published by Thomas Drance on The Athletic talking about the mysterious illness that halted his promising NHL career and how 8 years later he has recovered and hope has come back for Cody Hodgson. Take a look at the tweet promoting everything caught up with Cody Hodgson, who went 2,920 days between professional goals. After a genetic disorder forced him to retire, Hodgson spent 8 years away from the game. Here's a story of how he got back to doing what he loves and doing it well. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and read this article on The Athletic, but again, it is The Athletic, so you need a subscription to go out there and read it. We also had ourselves an interview from Frank Seravalli that went out there and talked about everything here. This will be linked in the description as well. TVA Sports article translated from French into English. Cody Hodgson could have died from his illness. This article goes out there and cites the recent Frank Seravalli interview with Hodgson, and he said, "We thought it could have been something else, like cancer. That's why I was taking all these tests while I was playing. I had symptoms at night. I went to the hospital a few times," he told journalist Frank Seravalli. "It was scary for several months. That's why I had to stop playing. I was told these were common symptoms of malignant hyperthermia. If I had continued, it could have been fatal. If I hadn't gotten the right medication, it would have been fatal too." He also says that he's happy to be alive. The specialized unit in a Toronto hospital that supported the diagnosis saved his life. They confirmed that all my symptoms were actually perfectly linked to malignant hyperthermia. It was a relief because they told me I couldn't play hockey anymore, but at least I knew about my condition and that there was medication, said Hodgson. However, this was before receiving the green light from doctors to resume his career. The 34-year-old's goal now is to return to the NHL, where he's played 328 games. He could achieve this if he continues to do well with the Predators Farm Club, which awarded him a pro tryout contract in mid-January. When it comes to Cody Hodgson doing well in the AHL, hell yeah, he's doing well. He's back with the Milwaukee Admirals, and after 11 games played, he's got 6 goals and 2 assists for 8 total points. He has legitimately been out there at an under point per game rate as one of the better Milwaukee Admirals to actually go out there and do the thing. He's got 3 points in his last 5 games and 8 points in his last 10. Not bad at all for a guy who had just spent so much time, 8 years worth of playing time, out of commission. He's finally back, and he's actually doing pretty all right. Now, of course, this doesn't guarantee anything. It just means that Cody Hodgson has been placed into the AHL and he's doing well. But when it comes to the potential of what's next, we have ourselves this article published by Nick Kypreos from earlier on the 14th, talking about why Nick Robertson's ill-advised comments come at the wrong time for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, hey, I get it, you know, this title, this entire body of the piece, it doesn't have anything to do with Cody Hodgson, so why am I bringing this up? Well, if you take a look at this Kypreos piece and you scroll down to the bottom and you read the Kipper's Corner part of the piece, it goes out there and says this: could former NHLer Cody Hodgson make it all the way back to the NHL as early as the end of this season? I'm hearing some non-playoff teams may have interest in him if they find themselves in a pinch. But as far as playoff-bound teams go, he would be ineligible to play in the postseason. Now, okay, there's a lot to unpack there. If there are some NHL teams that are actually interested in adding Cody Hodgson, I totally understand it. Of course, you kind of need to not be in a playoff spot. If you are in a playoff spot, if you're Vancouver, you can't really go out there and add Hodgson. Like, unfortunately, that's not how it works. He'll be added after the trade deadline, which means that you wouldn't be able to use him in the postseason. It's the same reason why Phil Kessel's timeline was so dependent on that trade deadline date. The Canucks did not end up signing him. But for other NHL teams, if they think that there's some potential here in Hodgson, I'm right there with you, baby. Not because, he's the top of the line #1 center that he was supposed to be when he was drafted 8th overall, but because for a guy to have this kind of story, at the end of the day, hockey is as much about the sport and the competition as it is about the marketing. And if a team goes out there and signs Cody Hodgson of all people, not only is that a huge comeback story, he had spent 8 years away from the game, he had to recover from this illness that was hereditary and that could have killed him, and now he's back and he's better than ever, and he'll get some NHL games played after supposedly being a top prospect in Vancouver a decade ago. That is a story of dreams right there. That is what you could sell to Disney. You can put that in a movie. There are opportunities for teams to go out there and capitalize on the Cody Hodgson story and give him some significant money in the process. Oh, I get it, you don't want to trivialize people's experiences and their growth and what it is that they need to do to survive. So for Cody Hodgson, would that be a slap in the face? No, because he'd be getting $900,000. Like, he'll be getting money for this entire thing. I get it, the late season contracts may not work exactly like that, but if some team goes out there and commits a certain amount of money to Cody Hodgson, let's say they sign him to a one-way deal worth $700,000, he'll get that amount in the NHL and the AHL. There's a security blanket there. There isn't really any reason for Cody Hodgson to demand any millions and millions of dollars contract. If he just gets the minimum amount, I feel like everybody involved is happy. The team that he goes to will get a player that could debatably actually be effective. Cody Hodgson himself will be able to play again after all these years of spending time off, and if he's actually able to capitalize on the success he's had after 8 years of an absence, then he might actually be good. Who really knows? The guy has been one of the best stories to have come out of this 23-24 season, and I do not want to let this go away. If there are teams that actually are interested in signing him, then hey, be my guest. If it's a team like, let's say, the Buffalo Sabres, they're on the outside looking in the postseason, they want a feel-good story, bring Cody Hodgson back, bro. He had 44 points with you 10 years ago. Can he do something similar to that now? I don't want to guarantee anything, but he could definitely make things look fun. And for a Buffalo fan base that has really needed more of a spark lately, like we've seen how Bowen Byram has almost reignited this fan base and its love for the game, Cody Hodgson could be doing just that. He doesn't even need to be amazing. He just needs to be a guy playing. You have the story, you give him some money, everybody's happy, and what? Cody Hodgson is back in the NHL after 8 years. That sounds like a crazy, crazy story. So, Nick Kypreos, I hope he's right. I hope there are some NHL teams that are actually thinking about signing him. So, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as to Cody Hodgson and whether or not he could return to the NHL. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.